One of the ways I like to approach the idea of responsibility is through a model or a way of envisioning it called the warrior's choice. It's shown as a triangle, you'll see it in your notes, but really what it is there's a baseline with two polarities, and then the third point of the triangle is what I sometimes like to refer to as a magical third choice. It's opening up the possibility that there's a third choice, that we don't have to just bounce between the poles. There's the potential we can step into something else again. So let's deal with those two poles. One is the victim and the other is the persecutor or the aggressor. So often people imagine that they have to be one or the other. You're either a victim of life or you're a go-getter, you're a doer. There's this idea of making things happen. There's the phrase that you'll sometimes hear people say, it's a dog-eat-dog world. Inherent in all of these is an assumption that I've got to be a predator or I'll be the prey. I eat others, I persecute others, or I myself will be persecuted. Those are the two choices. And I see that happen a lot. If someone's bullied when they're young, often they'll go and study martial arts, they'll work out a lot and get big, or they'll become very intelligent or a kind of psychological bully. They'll push each other around with their intellect. They'll push people around with their intellect. So there's ways that it's very easy to pinball between the two things. Or if you've been a bully in the past and you come to regret those choices in life, or that way of being, if you've pushed other people around, you think, oh, that's not the person I want to be. It can be easy to become overly soft, apologetic, always backing off and making it okay for others, and not asserting ourselves. So another way to phrase these two polarities could be passive and assertive, or passive and aggressive when it gets out of balance. So there's various different ways of looking at this and phrasing it, but it's basically an idea that there's two ways of being in the world and you've got to choose one or you'll be in the other. If you're not bullying people, then you must be a softie and you let people walk all over you. If you're not a softie and you don't let people walk all over you, then you've got to be aggressive and a bully. Predator and prey is one of the ways I sometimes describe it. I think that makes it very clear, because people often think in terms of the animal world that either you're a predator or you're the prey. And I think that phrase, it's a dog-eat-dog world, expresses that very clearly. That sense that if you're not the one doing the eating, you'll be eaten. So what if we imagined the world differently? What if we approach the world with a different set of assumptions? Not a set of assumptions that assumes that I've either got to eat or I'll be eaten, but that there might be another choice. I might be able to step outside that zero-sum game, a lose-lose situation. I might be able to step outside that lose-lose situation and choose a different way and say, I'm not going to play that game. Neither will I be pushed around and bullied, nor will I bully others. I can stand in my own integrity, choosing who I want to be, taking responsibility for my actions and my choices, without having to engage in persecutory behaviour or being the victim of others. It's a tough position to take, it's a tough choice to make, to take that position, but it is what I call the warrior's choice. Because I think a true warrior is not someone who is master of everyone around them through brute force and bullying and raw power. I think a true warrior is someone who's become master of himself. And in that, neither needs to be the victim of others, nor has any need to have power over others. They have sufficient confidence, power, strength, and integrity in themselves that they don't need to have power over others to feel powerful. They don't need to aggress upon or assert themselves over others to feel filled with agency and possibility. So a little introduction to the warrior's choice. The article explores it in more depth. And we'll be exploring, as we explore responsibility as a subject, really we'll be exploring the warrior's choice more and more as we go.